Please show me the way, baby, to your heart. Please show me the way, baby, to your heart. And I think it's better for me to be with you. And nothing is better for me. Nothing is better. Baby, show me some love songs, 'cause tonight I wanna fall in love. You told me you love me too. I wanna believe you. And I'm ready to fall. And I'm ready to fall.
Hello everyone, my soul family. Welcome to this year's Lightworker University 2020. This is a special virtual worldwide 3D event that I'm going to be hosting in honor of the divine, of God, because this has been definitely called to me to show up and speak to all the world about whatever needs to come through today. And you know, we are at a critical moment in this point in history, truly. And all over the world, we're all full of emotions. Many people don't know where to go. Many people have found their light. Many people have found their calling. And they've realized and discovered that they are a light worker. And this is what the Lightworker University is about. The whole purpose behind this presentation and motivational speech is to inspire and uplift others to find that calling, their purpose here on earth, to activate their light and share it. And in order to be able to do this, we need to transmute a lot of old fears, a lot of old pain, a lot of old baggage that doesn't serve us in the future. So how do we do all of this? Because it's a lot that's to be carried. It's heavy. And that's why I created my 10-week intensive soul coaching program, A New You. And in that program, I walk you step by step for 10 weeks on all the ways that you need to heal so that you can be ready to embody this new self, your higher self. The real you that is capable of so many great things, of abundance, happiness, love, joy. But we need to be willing to let go of the past. So I welcome you all today, all of you who are watching this video and special presentation, to sit with me for about an hour or so each day. And we're going to talk deeply about some topics that God wants me to talk about. Okay, I was, a little bit confused in the beginning when I created this event, because I just knew that it had to be created. And I channeled this event, Lightworker University, last year. And initially it was supposed to be like a program, a university school, right? Hence the Lightworker University. And I built this whole entire curriculum for a whole year. And I began doing the studying on my own. I was actually teaching the videos, and it was like me learning and delving into this whole new world that was so magical and awe-inspiring. It really opened my eyes as to how we are all capable of building something beautiful and spiritual as part of our mission. And that's what I learned. But then I was called to do something unique and different, which is to turn this entire event into an event rather than a program, and come to you once a year for the next 4 years and talk about big things, thinking bigger outside the scope of our reality, opening our eyes to the big picture, literally. Because most of the time when we're in this little bubble, and this could be Not necessarily when it comes to socioeconomic status or intelligence, but it could even be in regards to our emotions, the way that we handle our soul journey, right? Our evolution. And these emotions need to be confronted, not run away from. Because by being in denial, we only delay further this journey. And denial can take many masks. It can look many different ways, which I'm going to talk about, because there's no more time left for you to keep playing out the same story. This is the time to turn to the new chapter in a whole brand new book of your life. And I'm telling you that this world is currently in a transition phase. And I know that we're all in fear because it's very up and down, it's very rocky, it's very unstable, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But I can tell you and even promise you, because it's not me either predicting or saying this, it's God right now who has told me, who has showed me that everything is going to be all right. This is a transition phase from the worst to the best. The worst has been dealt with in your personal life, as a collective, worldwide, political, socioeconomic, everything. And we're moving into this new phase. But we need to have patience, and we need to heal individually, because think about it, collectively we're all made of individuals. So it doesn't do any service of just only a few light workers here and there being healed and having a great life. But what about the rest, right? Because the whole world is made up the majority. Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, the planet Earth, is made up of all of us, not just one person, not just a few people out there who are spiritually awoken, who are spiritually diligent on their practices, on their mission. That's amazing, yes, because obviously we need to show up like myself and be the spiritual leaders and way showers for others, right? It's like leading the crowd towards the right path. But then ultimately everybody has a choice, and that's what's called free will. Everybody has to be willing to take the reins of their own life, given that that's what God wants you to do, and taking action, not waiting for something or someone to save you. Because God saves us actually by giving us the tools, the resources, the ideas, the inspirations, the energy. That's God giving us guidance. But when you don't take action, that's you ignoring or rebelling God's actions, God's call to action, right? So truly, it's really up to the individual. Nobody can force anybody to do anything, not even leaders like myself, not even political leaders per se, not even anybody in a position of power or leader, right? Because nobody can change one's heart, what's really in their soul. And we really need to be clear about what it is that we want in our soul, right? Because many people run around confused, and that's when they get into false relationships or chase relationships that are not really there, or stay in jobs that don't make them happy, or settle for any kind of situation that they know they deserve better. And all of these things are not high vibrational. So how do we embody this high vibration? We need to begin by choosing ourselves, by engaging in our self-care practices, loving ourselves, finding that mission, our purpose here, and embarking on that journey, doing it, connecting with the right souls, uniting together as one in love, harmony, and peace, healing from the past and moving into the future, free and liberated. Visualizing this new beginning, visualizing your higher self, and then working on anchoring that. Those are your goals in life. That's what keeps you going. Progression, inspiration, improvement. That's what gives us joy. Having this daily gratitude for the blessings that we already have here on earth. That's something to always think about, because there's more than enough to already be grateful for. And those are actually the topics of my new You Tell Me intensive soul coaching program. So it just comes to show you that all of these topics that I teach in that program are meant to help you make this transition into this new world, this new you. It's all about newness. This even comes to mind when it comes to our purpose, right? Our projects, our businesses, if that's something that you're being called to do. Because many of the times, spiritual callings are very unique and creative. They're new for that reason, because nobody has done it before. So you need to be willing to take risk. You need to have faith in God's instructions, what He's guiding you to do. Because they're all meant for a bigger purpose. And this is the thing, that everybody has a specific role in this bigger picture, in this bigger puzzle of God's divine blueprint, divine plan. And in divine order, everyone fulfills their duties, right? Because that's what it is. It's a duty. It's a contract that we signed before we even were born here on earth. So we really need to take all of these things into consideration and grow up and be responsible about our soul journey, our evolution. Because the old was just a physical. And there's no way that we can bring that anymore. Because this whole crisis in the world has definitely shaken us and awoken us all. To different degrees, to different levels, and in different ways. But I promise you that it's gotten to everybody at some point, at some level. And as I was coming up with the 3 main topics that I'm going to discuss in this event, it all happened actually last night. I was doing my spiritual practice. I was in complete solo mode. I was completely alone. I was only with God. I was connecting with God. And I was just in my zone in my spiritual practice. My spiritual practice is yoga and meditation. But I was specifically doing yoga, which you meditate while you do yoga, right? And suddenly all of these emotions just came out of nowhere. And I knew that I was carrying the emotions of the world in that very moment, just for a brief moment, so that I can feel and have empathy for what most of the people around the world are going through. This unfairness, this inequality, this injustice, lack of love, lack of hope. All of these things came to mind, and I knew that they weren't my emotions, because I've made this deal with God many years ago. I want to say specifically like about 2 years ago, that every day, every morning that I wake up, I choose to be happy. Not because nothing is wrong in my life, or not because my life is perfect, but because I am grateful for God giving me a brand new day. And I know that every single moment is not to be wasted. I've learned to live in the present moment through all my own teachings, actually. Ever since I began my School of Light last year, all of these different things that came up, wisdom and knowledge from God, has truly made me live a different kind of lifestyle. My attitude has changed, my mindset. And I am beyond grateful to God for having me awoken and having access to this kind of new high vibrational reality, which is available to you all, because it's a choice. So every day I make the choice to be happy, to smile, to live in the moment, do everything with mindfulness, with grace, slowing down, not rushing, and just having conversations with God. And God has become my own best friend. And I know that many people in the world right now are feeling this aloneness and loneliness. But let me tell you that those two things are quite different. Aloneness does not equate loneliness, and loneliness does not equate aloneness, because you could be in a very bad situation, toxic relationship, and feel utterly lonely. Whereas you can be all alone, isolated from the world, and be completely nurtured by Mother Mary, by God, by Jesus, and by all our evangelical heavenly angels and spirit guides and ancestors that are always looking out for us. And we can only connect this when we connect to the spiritual realm. And we can only do this in our own alone time. So this has been something that I want to share a little bit about my own story, because specifically the past year when I began my soul coaching business, this is my true mission. I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I didn't know where it was going. But little by little, God was guiding me, and I just faithfully and blindly abided. I just did what God told me to do, no matter what other people thought, or no matter what I thought in the moment. I was open-minded and teachable, because I had still a lot to learn, and I'm still learning. But I've come such a long way in just 1 year, and it's because I completely turned my life around. And yes, God might have kind of taken me out of the world for a little bit, but now God is putting me back there with a higher wisdom, with a healed heart as well, because I did a lot of internal healing that year, and a lot of the times it was painful. But the secret is that I was not resistant. I surrendered. I accepted. I revisited past memories that were painful, that were hurtful. But I chose to forgive, because I know that that's the only way into this new world, into this new earth. The key to heaven is love. And part of love, it means embodying compassion, forgiving, and putting yourselves in other shoes, which is called empathy. So this is all of what I'm going to talk about in this event. So hold on to your horses, everyone, because it's about to get really deep. And I'm even excited as to what is going to come through. So let's get started. Let me get a little more comfortable. I'm going to sit here on my stool. And you know, this event is based on London, UK theme, as you see the trailer, because I was really connecting to doing this creative project, which is a virtual world tour. The first event that I began with was Athens, Greece. And in that destination, I was guided in that destination to do a lot of healing and internal work on my own, really focus on my body, mind, and spirit brand, which is my health and wellness brand if you want to check it out, because I do so much healing work there and share my own piece of wisdom with my own healthy lifestyle. And this is where I'm also going to be launching my new mindful meditation program, which I really suggest you join, because I use that program myself before giving it out to the world. So this is the second time that I actually recorded that program and did it. So this is the upgraded version. And what I channeled in that photo shoot campaign that I did was this idea of a paradise island. Purity and cleanliness from water, the ocean, emotional health and alignment with spirit. So check it out, because it's going to help you on this journey. This is what has been opening me to this higher wisdom, connecting with God even more. And I like to do those either very later in the evening, or either very early in the morning, or even sometimes weekend nights, and just sit there under the stars and meditate. So challenge yourself and try it. You can learn to meditate for real, transcendental kind of meditation, in only 6 weeks, because I gave you 6 phases to progress through. Okay, so let us begin then with today's topic. And so the idea with London of today is that, of course, that's where all the patriarchy lies, right? Where all the kingdoms lie. And this is about royalty, right? Divine royalty. And God is telling us that we are all royal. And this is why He blesses us. This is why we're alive at this moment. This is why we have shelter, why we have food, why we have water, why we have a family. And we're all protected in this kingdom of heaven, you see. We're all shielded right now. And this is just a learning lesson. We need to think and change this perspective as to when things happen in life. It always happens for us, not to us. And that's, of course, a quote from Tony Robbins that has always stuck with me. And he's one of my mentors that I've always looked up to ever since 10 years ago. And it really stuck with me because, wow, does that really change everything, right? When you start to see everything happening in your life for you, rather than complaining to God or blaming something else, that thing happening, including worldwide, rather we can ask ourselves, what is this situation trying to teach me? Why is this happening in my life right now? And how can I use that to make a shift into a better me? Having a more balanced lifestyle? Or perhaps I've been neglecting some area of my life. And so that's something to keep in mind with you with anything that comes your way during these moments, any shocks, because I promise you that it's just a test of faith. So are you going to be in the grace of God, or are you going to stray away because you lost hope and you stop believing? So make sure that you make the wise choice, because God is telling us that He rewards faithfulness, obedience, and commitment to Him. And if not, He's not going to do anything. He's not going to punish you. But you're missing out, basically, on the goodness of life. That's all that He wants to say right now. Okay, so let me be sipping my coffee here. I have some pumpkin pie spice coffee. It is fall season. This is my ultimate favorite season of the year, in addition to winter, because of this whole, coziness and like all this nice spirit in the air, right? It just changes. I don't know what it is, but this whole vibration changes. Thanksgiving is around the corner, and more people become aware of gratitude, which you should always be on a daily basis aware of, right? So make sure that you have a gratitude journal, and every day make it a new habit to write 3 things that you're grateful for, and make them something different. And you're gonna be so surprised as to how many things you have to be grateful for as you look back on those pages and you see, wow, God, you're truly amazing. You're a miracle in my life. Thank you. That's all we have to say. Alright, so this is my special notebook that I was writing in yesterday. Think big. And I only write things here that are just special inspirations. Like, I only had 1 page written. And I knew that when I was called to this notebook, it was something special and revolutionary, because many people need to hear this, and many people need to have access to this kind of information, right? So today's day 1 topic is going to be about equality. Okay? And when I talk about equality, you already know that this means all equalities on the all spectrum, all levels. A lot of this issue has been coming up lately, I know, worldwide. And this is why God is here to talk about this right now, because this is not right. And we are all to remember that we're all one, love. We're all one with God. And justice always prevails. So why are we judging or discriminating or even stereotyping souls on this planet when at the core of it we're all the same? Okay, now this of course can be any topic. I want to keep this as general as possible, but these are things that I support. And a high vibrational world, a high vibrational earth accepts everyone, right? A soul. Because remember that a soul is just a soul. The exterior is the illusion. The exterior is the test of this life on earth. Remember, to open your eyes and see this earth as literally a matrix, like a video game, like the movie The Matrix, right? This is a 3D plane, obviously, because everything is tangible. We can feel it. Everything has form, physical form, including our flesh, our body, our roster, our skin, our face, our gender, our color, our ethnicity, our culture. All of these things are physical manifestations of what we choose to see in this 3D world, right? So when we're getting to these topics that have been issues for many years, this is history, okay? And this is very saddening to me that these things are still going on, because hello, you know, we're supposed to be stepping into this new world, and yet these things are still playing behind the scenes, in public, in riots, because of color, because of gender, because of sexual orientation, because of their ethnicity, because socioeconomic class. These things don't make us human, don't make us who we are inside. So who are you or who are we to think that we are better than anybody else who are not like us exactly? Because that's actually what makes us all beautiful and unique, right? That we're all so different, that we all have something so special to offer. And God didn't do this by accident. He did this on purpose. Nothing's coincidence. And of course, the test of this, ironically, is that way back in the day, way before we were here, everything was one, meaning everyone spoke the same language. Everyone was part of the same country. Everyone was the same race. Everyone was just androgynous, right? And then all of these little things started to come up to separate us. And that's why we're living in a separated world, right? The grand illusion here is the separation. That's what it is. Because at the core of it, truly, we're all united by spirit. That's why we can always feel other people's emotions, because we're connected spiritually, whether you even know that person or not, right? We feel the world's energies. We feel the person across the street. We feel the person next to us. We feel the person across the other side of the world. Because we're all souls here, just visiting. So we need to be more kind. More kind, because kindness is free. And kindness stems from unconditional love, right? Compassion. And we are kind when we're kind to ourselves. We're kind when we take the time to nurture ourselves and self-care. And this is what makes us all better people, right? Think about it. When you're all in a room, in a class of whatever you're doing, there's people from all different sides of the world. When people get together for special events, people with different stories, different backgrounds, different childhood bring-ups, right? But yet, they're all there for the same reason, right? Because let's say they're going to a yoga class or a special event, right? Let's say it's a Tony Robbins special event. There's people from all over the world, but they're there for the same reason. And let me tell you that there's even been scientific proof of this, okay? Way back in psychology, when I was in school, I learned about this study of two twins. And these two twins are obviously identically in their DNA, right? They're in their DNA identical. But they were separated at childbirth. So they grew up in different upbringings. They had different parents. that had different traditions. So at the core of it, they had the same DNA. But as they grew older, these children were completely opposite and different because they had a different experience growing up. They had different upbringing. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the metaphor for all of us. We're all these identical twins, DNA-wise, spiritually, soul-wise. But we all had different upbringings, and that's what influenced the way that we are right now as adults. And even Osho says this as well, that I learned in my School of Light. Osho says that children should be shielded and protected until the years of 7 years old, because those critical first 7 years of your life are the most important in shaping you, who you're going to be for the rest of your life. Your solid personality, your beliefs, your traumas. So he believed in homeschooling. He believed that children shouldn't leave their house until after the year of 7. For this very reason, right? Because there was a potential and a danger of being tainted by the outside world. And it could have been unintentionally. It's not to say that people are bad, but it's just to say that usually as we grow older, we already have all of these experiences meshed up together that if not healed and seen from a holistic point of view, and if you're not spiritually connected per se, and chosen to see the love in all the experiences, there's many people that walk around with their traumas on their sleeves. And this can hurt other people because then they project that onto other people. And then hence, they do to them what they were done to them, you see. They bully. They hurt. They destroy people's souls because that's what was done to them. And that's not the right way to react to these situations, because that's not what God wanted, and that's not what He wants, and that wasn't the whole purpose behind that karmic lesson. And I'm not to say nobody deserves these things, nobody, and everybody has had traumas. It's inevitable, right? Because traumas have all shapes and forms, different colors, different levels, different types of traumas. This is why I've dedicated so much of my time in my spiritual counseling TV network for therapy sessions for trauma recovery, helping to heal us from that trauma from the past. Because let me tell you that that's the biggest block in moving forward into this new earth, into this new world, into this new self. So it's time for you to let it go. And it could be in any area, like I say again. It could be personal. It could be financial even, like fear of failure. It could be relationship-wise. It could be abuse. It could be fear, phobias. It could be anything. But at the core of it, the method for healing from it is the same. So definitely check that out. Join my membership program. And many times as well, healing from injustice or unfairness can take years to heal from, or it could just take one. It's up to you, literally. It's kind of like when people deal with addictions, right? To numb themselves from this injustice, to numb themselves from past hurts and past traumas. How do you explain some people quitting cold turkey for the rest of their lives? And how do you explain those others who suffer for many lives, for much time with those same addictions? It has nothing to do with their personality or even their abilities. It's a mindset. It's all in the way that we choose to love ourselves. Because when we choose to see things from a higher perspective and tell ourselves, you know what? I deserve a good life. I deserve a healthy relationship. I deserve to be treated right, including treating my body right? With healthy foods, healthy vibrations, healthy love, healthy souls around you, right? All of these things nourish us on a different level that we can all do, right? So again, coming back to this equality, think of equality. Let's break down that word. Equality is broken down to equal. We're all equal. Equal means the same, right? The same means that I see you, I feel you because we're connected. I love you because I love myself. And I want to help you because we're one. We want to bring each other up because the more that we uplift others, we're also uplifting ourselves, you see. Let us give you an example of how this will play out in something more personalized, right? Let's say it's a family home and there's one person in that home who is really connected to the light, and she chooses to live, or he chooses to live his life in positivity. But all those others around him, maybe he has a big family, many brothers and sisters, parents, and they're not on that same boat. So their home is kind of dark in energy, vibration. And I've seen this play out because, you know, I've had many jobs in psychology. I have over 10 years of experience in psychology, and I used to have this one job where I would actually have to drive to homes. I would do in-home therapy. So I felt the energy every time that I would step into somebody's home. And of course, these homes that I was stepping into, obviously there was issues, right? Because if not, I wouldn't have been there. And these situations, these therapies were actually mandated. And at the times, you see, from an outside perspective, you can see clearly that the child was actually the victim. The child wasn't the one at fault. It was the vibration around them, right? Because it was so low vibrational, so toxic, that the child was only trying to escape, trying to seek a way out, trying to find their heaven. But nobody was listening, nobody understood, nobody was treating them fairly. They were in their own drama, and they were sinking deeper into that. And the child had nowhere to go because that child wanted to rise, but she was being kept down. Kind of like, think like you have a rope around your ankle and you're trying to swim to the top of the water, but you keep being sunken by this heavy rope. And this heavy rope down there represents all of these heavy vibrations, past traumas, hurtful people around you, victimhood mentality per se. I did a whole therapy session on just that. So this child didn't realize that they are equal because they were being treated unfairly. So they internally believed that they were not equal to them, right? They thought themselves inferior or somewhat what is that word? Like dysfunctional, deformed. But that was further from the truth, right? Because it was just these false illusions being projected and being manipulated onto that child's belief. So a lot of mental health issues come up like that. I've dealt with a lot of that in clients from the past, and I solidly believe that these mental health issues arise because something's missing. And there is lack of stability in this inner self-love, this inner relationship with the one most high above, God. And this lack of seeing themselves as equal, that they deserve to be loved, they deserve to be treated right, they are worthy. they don't see their value. And this equality is equated to divinity. If you see yourself as divine, then you're equal to God because you're his son, his daughter, right? Just like with our parents, we're equal to our parents because we're one with them, right? This is how we are with God. So this is where God is going with this, right? That we are all equal. So stop all of this injustice, unfairness, and accept people for who they are. Try this little exercise. Every time you're about to say something that sounds unsacred or you wouldn't want to be said unto you, or perhaps if you already said something and it didn't sound right when you said it, question yourself, take a step back and ask yourself, was that right? Would God like that response? Let me tell you this. Do this assignment. Pretend, should I say not pretend, just become aware, right? Because God is always watching. Remember that God is there right before you. What would he say if he saw you right now? Are you on the right path? Would he congratulate you? Where are your thoughts? Your intentions within? Because we all know that what manifests exteriority does not say what manifests interiority, right? So this is about keeping our words sacred, keeping our thoughts and our actions sacred, taking a step back, not fighting if not needed. Rather, don't be afraid to say, I surrender. I don't want to fight anymore. Or don't be afraid to just walk away, right? This is like in situations when it comes to like violence or bullying situations. And remember that when it comes to bullying as well, because this very much has a lot to do with equality, it's the bullies that have something going on and twisted within, right? And this is their own lack of love growing up, lack of nurturance from self, from God, that they need to awaken to as well. So have compassion for what they're going through and don't take it personal. So take a step back and just let God deal with it, right? Because God sees it all, right? This is where God is going with this. Justice means that justice will always prevail. And this is time and time again proven in the Bible, right? As a history book. See it as a history book. And even in the history books per se as well. There's always justice at the end, even if it's years later. So don't worry about it. And just remember that you're loved and you're equal to God, to all of us, because we're all one love. So let us unite together, holding our hands. And let's do something special. Share this message, whether it's through your words, make sure that it's the same words, right? Or share this video with others and challenge others as well to start with themselves and see how we can all, as we do this little inner work within ourselves, we all become better people and our world is going to become a better place. And how much more magical as we step into this new world and phase of our life, of history. I'm telling you, this is historic right now. So we should feel blessed that we're witnessing this, right? It's difficult. But remember that the most difficult storms always come with the most beautiful rainbows afterwards. So I'm excited for what the world is going to bring, what time is going to bring, because it's closer than we think. So keep doing your inner work. Take a look at my New You Tell Me Contest of Soul Coaching program and commit to this new you, because you deserve it. You deserve a great love. You deserve a great life. And you deserve great joy. Thank you all for having me today, and I'm wishing you all an amazing and beautiful soul journey. Namaste. And I never said my name, did I? My name is Christy Ramirez, And I have a master's in marriage and family therapy, psychology, and this is my mission, being a motivational speaker. I do more for the collective because I've been given the courage to just come here and show up and do this, because I know that this is my destiny all along. And I've been preparing this for many years. And I've been in your shoes. I've been there. I've been at rock bottom. I've been in a worse mentality. I've been bullied. I've been treated unfairly, unkind. I've been used. And all of these things have made me the woman that I am today. Strong and empowered and fearless. I am courageous enough to share my story. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to hide, but only love. I have only love to give. And I want to now help those who are in those hopeless and helpless places, because you just have no idea how much you're capable of, your potential. And with God's help today, we are pushing you to get out of that box and see the light, because it's all around us. So thank you for having me today. Go to my website for more information on all that I do, on my membership programs, christyramirez.com. And thank you so much again. Namaste.